How was the trip? It was good. I think being away from this game for like, I really couldn't care less about this game. And I just enjoy streaming it. Like, I did not really miss Skywars. Or Minecraft in general. Just miss streaming. When you like play every day, not playing for 4 days is really detrimental. Got home from vacation. I just got back from Chicago. I was in Chicago. I don't think I can call it a vacation. It wasn't very like relaxing. The music festival was good, yeah, it was good. But like I hate the city so much. Like I already wasn't really the biggest fan of major cities, but now I just hate them even more. After my experience. Story time? Do you want story time of me like the story time isn't very interesting. So it's the city. So if anyone knows what this, okay, we can have a story time, but so I'll just like talk about my whole weekend. I'll just talk about my whole weekend in a whole. So it all kind of started off with me going to Chicago. Wow. But my grandma and my aunt also went to Chicago like the same day we left. They just left earlier because my cousin had a play. And so we're gonna go see my cousin's play. So, there we go. First day, get there, cousin's play. It's all chill. We go out for ice cream. We probably get back to their house around like 11. But it's also like a different time zone, so I don't remember exactly. But like 11 or so. Then after that, I like stay up till 2 because, you know, I'm responsible. So the first person who I wanted to see the next day started at 11:45, so I woke up at around 11:30. It started at 12:45, but I woke up at around 11:30, 11, and we left at, I woke up at around 11, and we left at like 11:40. Chicago traffic is not fun going into the city, especially like when there's like a music festival going on. So it took like 40 minutes to drive into the city. Then we parked like a mile away, so we had to walk the mile, and then we got there too late, so I missed the first person I wanted to see, which, it's alright, it happens to the best of us. Since it was like, there's like people basically almost overlapping who I wanted to see. There was Underscores, which, God, I love Underscores. Underscores was performing at 12:45 to 1:20, or 1:25. And Midwest was performing at 1:30, so we got there at 1:26. We got into the music festival at like 1:26. We walked down to the T-Mobile stage, which is like, it's probably like good like half a mile from where we entered the park because it was really big. And then we walked, and then we're like, oh, okay, let's just go see Midwest then. So then we have to walk back to the other side, like past where we came in and past that. So that's already like, at this point, we already have like 2 miles under our belt, and we've only been there for about an hour and a half. But fortunately, Midwest was in a really well shaded area, so that was really nice. I saw Midwest, which Midwest is really good. Midwest went from 1:30 to like 2:20, I think. And then the next person I wanted to see was Role Model at 4, so we kind of ended up just killing time. We kind of ended up just, like, killing time for an hour and 20 minutes. The Midwest, like, I mean, not Midwest, the Role Model, like, the stage that he was performing on was, like, in the worst spot ever. One, standing on soft grass is so much better than standing on concrete. So, we also were standing on concrete for starters, and then two, it was, like, the middle of the day since it was, like, 4, so the sun was at its very brightest. We saw a Role Model. And Role Model was good. I wouldn't say it was my favorite performance, but it's also my very biased thing of like, I wouldn't pay to see Role Model live. I wouldn't pay to see Role Model live, but since he was there, I'm gonna see him because I actually listen to his music. After that, it was fucking 100 gex at 6, and it was currently 5, right? So I'm like, and it's like 4:40. It's not 5. So like, me and my dad go sit in a tree by the shade, and my dad goes and gets water, which. The water was so funny. It was in like cans. Like I don't know if I could look up and show you the cans. But like it was called like they're in like aluminum cans and it's called Liquid Death. So it looks like it looks like an alcoholic beverage. It does not look like water. So it was so funny cuz like there's like it's Chicago. There's like a bunch of like cops there and shit. So like I saw like a few cops like drinking like fucking like out of this like can, and I'm like, the cops are drinking? But then we finally got water, like, after being there for, like, 3 hours, and I'm like, oh, the water is in aluminum cans. So, I was drinking my liquid death, and it literally says, it literally says, like, murder your thirst on it. But me and my dad were sitting under a tree in the shade, but there was benches around us. So eventually, like, this bench clears out. And, me and my dad go and we sit on the bench. And there's, like, people sitting on the other side of the bench. So, you know, they start conversating. So, like, I was wearing my glaive bandana for both days of the concert, or the festival. Because, like, I love glaive, and I was wearing my glaive bandana. So, apparently, like, those people who were sitting at that table had gone to, Lollapalooza every single year since it's been, like, a thing in Chicago, like just Chicago. So they had a headband from every year. So he saw me wearing a headband, and he like went to the, like, before we even ever talked, he had bought extra headbands. So like he gave me like a free Lollapalooza headband. I'll grab it out of my backpack after this game. It's not really like super cool, but I got a free headband. That's cool. But this is just like us killing time waiting for 100 gex. It's probably like around like 5:30, 5:40 right now. 100 gex at 6. And then this guy, this drunk, he was talking about, nah, okay, that's kind of rude. But this guy, he was talking about how, like, they weren't letting liquor in, so he was, like, trying to, like, find, like, some elaborate system where he could, like, use crutches and fill the crutches with liquor and, like, bring the liquor in that way. So, like, this is his, like, elaborate plan to, like, bring liquor in, but he ended up not doing it because it wasn't enough, but well, that was just me explaining what the guy was like. Then he offers to buy me a beer, guys. And like, I don't know, I'm about to see 100 gex. I'm like, I don't think I want to be drunk. It's really hot out. Another thing with me is like, when I'm at like public events or like in the car, like something, or like when I don't want to pee, I want to stay hydrated, but I also wanna like avoid, like, I want to avoid peeing as much as I can, like as much liquid as I can, because I don't want to pee. I did not take it anyway. So then it's like 5:50, right? It's like 5:50, right? And like I have to pee really bad because I just downed 2 waters in the span of an hour. So wow, pee does come up. So then like we're going over to like where the porta potties are, and like this guy runs up to me, and I'm wearing a shirt from a tournament that I played in, like a baseball tournament that I played in Myrtle Beach like 3 years ago. He's like, oh my god, I played in that tournament. And this guy like points out his exact team on my fucking shirt. Like, that was pretty cool. Like how there was someone there who was in the same fucking tournament as me like 3 years ago. But then also, my dad found a pair of like $300 Oakleys on the ground, so that's a W. He broke even, guys. He broke even. And then we saw 100 gex, which 100 gex was good live. It was fun. There's a lot of things about that music festival that were very interesting. I don't understand, as a woman, like there's a lot of women who are like wearing nothing but like fucking thongs and fishnets, and like I don't understand how that's comfortable. Like, could you guys? I couldn't imagine going out in public like that. Like, I don't know. I just feel like everyone was looking at me. Maybe they want everyone to look at them. I don't know. I could just never do that. But then after we saw 100 gex, my dad wanted to fucking see Metallica. Not because my dad really wanted to see Metallica. They would just be wearing like, I don't know, like, how am I supposed to explain like revealing shirts? Is it that hard to imagine, Darkins? But yeah, so then it's like we're stalling time till like 8:30 for Metallica, right? Because my dad wanted to see them to be able to say that we saw them. But like at this point, like, I'm like, we've probably at this point walked like 4 miles. We've probably walked like 4 miles. My feet are fucking dead. I've been like, I've been on my feet for basically like 9 hours. And I was just done, and I just didn't care enough to go fucking see Metallica, so my dad forced me to go see them for a little, and then we basically left. But then during the Metallica show, another guy offered to buy me a beer. So I think they really just wanted to get me drunk. Like, they just really wanted to get me drunk. Did you take the offer? No. I wanted to get out of there. Oh yeah, another thing I forgot to add is like before we went there, my dad like did some shrooms, you know, because like you have to do like shrooms to have the full experience, apparently, like, you know. But like his shrooms wore out right before 100 gex. Like, I don't know about you guys, but if I ever wanted to do shrooms, 100 gex would be like the one people that I want shrooms for. Like, I want to be off shrooms. Like, this is the water they were, wait, okay, yep, this is the water they were serving. This is what the water. This is what exactly like the labeling is. This is like, tell me how this looks like water. Like, you can't tell me this doesn't look like an alcoholic beverage. Liquid Death, guys. Guys, this is the free bandana I got. I'm probably gonna hang it on my wall behind me. But yeah, after the first day was done, okay, so basically, I don't know. I know some of you guys are EU and some of you guys have probably never been to Chicago. Chicago is like built on top of each other, so there's like, okay, so they have like underground levels, they have like above ground levels that are like, just like above ground and normal like a city. And then they have levels that are like even higher. So there's like, so like basically for the first day, we were in an underground parking structure. But the underground parking structure was on the same level as everything else, so we had to get above. And we could not find a way to get above. So me and my dad got to basically where the parking structure was, and then walked around in like circles for like 20 minutes trying to figure out how to get like to the parking structure. Oh my gosh, that was the first day of it. But yeah, my dad also has like been having hip problems, so he was also like in a lot of pain and starting to get frustrated because like we couldn't find the car and he wanted to be like done for the night. Within the second day, okay, I'm gonna be honest, I wanted to be like not at a music festival when my montage premiered, so like the only person I really wanted to see the second day was Glaive. So second day I slept in, like I slept into like 2 or something, and then I just like laid in bed for a little while and we left at like 4. If you haven't seen my montage, watch it. Yeah, we get there. I think Glaive is at 5:30, which, I mean, I think Glaive is at 5:30, which fortunately he was at 6:30. And me and my dad, we spent, I'm not even lying, we spent 40 minutes driving around in circles in the city because like this we got a new parking structure this time. It was still a mile away, but it was a straight shot instead of like the other one. Like, you could walk straight from where we were to that one. So it wasn't like really, it was easier. It was just all easier at the end. But it took us 40 minutes to find it because like, now we're dealing with, instead of dealing with the above ground Chicago, we were dealing with the underground Chicago. And first we were using the GPS on my phone, and the GPS on my phone would think we were above ground when we were underground. And then, so like, that got really annoying, and it like made it impossible basically to find where we were supposed to go. And then my dad tried using his GPS, and every time he would go underground, he would lose connection. So like, we spent 40 minutes driving in circles trying to find this parking structure. And we finally found it, and since I had like the time, like, since in my own head I had the time for Glaive wrong by an hour, I was stressing, because in my own head I was like, oh, Glaive is starting in 30 minutes, and we have a mile walk, and we have to go through security. We got in before Glaive would have started if I was even right about the time. But thankfully he didn't start at 5:30 and it started at 6:30, so I got to see Glaive, but like it's by far my favorite just because, yeah, it's Glaive and Glaive is my favorite. So then we get in, it's 5:30, we kind of just, when we got in there was an hour till anything we wanted to see, and there was nothing like at all like that was really on. So we kind of like walked around for like an hour. I had ice cream. The ice cream was good. And then I saw Glaive, which, God, I love Glaive. Glaive is like my favorite person ever. So Glaive was really good. And then after we saw Glaive, there was like, see, I've never listened to Girl in Red, but like I had like 3 people tell me I had to see her. So then she was at 8:15. Wait, no. She was at 7:45, my bad. She's at 7:45, so Glaive ended at like 7:20, and then like, Glaive ended at like 7:15. So then we went over and we watched Girl in Red for a little, and then we ended my music festival night with Machine Gun Kelly. God, I love Machine Gun Kelly. Where's say to end your night? No. I don't really mind Machine Gun Kelly. Like, I kind of like some of his songs. I don't like Machine Gun Kelly as a rapper. I don't really mind him as like punk pop. But, like, he's also really good live. And I already knew that because my cousin has seen him in concert twice. Okay, this is the thing about MGK. And like, this is like, he is a very cringe person. And he has a lot of songs with very cringe lyrics. It's just when you're live, like when you're performing live, your cringe lyrics are less like noticeable because of the energy of like, no one's paying attention on what you're saying as much of like just like the atmosphere. So, I wouldn't say, like, he's amazing live, or he's an amazing artist. He's just good live. There's good energy. But then, like, after... Okay, but it's also really cool, because when Machine Gun Kelly performed More Than Life, he brought Glaive on stage. And as I've said before, God, I love Glaive! But then after he ended, we had to, like, leave, and we left. And first, we were in, like... So, we go back to, like, the original building that when we parked, our parking was under. So, like, I go to this building, and I'm like, okay, we just go in this building, go down the elevator, and, like, we're set. We're done, we're going home. But no. That building is locked. So we have to, like... So, this is, like, there's this building. It was called, like, the Anon Center. And there's an entrance where we went, an entrance on the other side of the street, and then the entrance on the front of the block, on, like, the block over. But they have, like, probably, like, 7 different entrances to this building, and 6 of them were closed. So it took us 30 minutes the second day again to get back to our to, like, where we parked. So basically, the moral of the story is, the festival is a lot of fun, but with how bad dealing with parking was, it outweighed everything else. Like, that's just all it was. It was just the parking just outweighed everything. Yep, but that's my week. That was my weekend, guys.